Hello friends, in this video we will see the law of financial transactions which has been mentioned in Kautilya Arthashastra. Commercial contract has to be done openly and same should have following ingredients: time when contract is entered, place where contract is entered, quantity agreed, quality agreed, sign and name of witnesses. Those employed with the king will not be arrested for non-payment of debt when they are employed with king. So friends, you can once again find the identical drafting rules which are there today, because today also when we draft it in the same manner. This agreement made at Mumbai on this dash day so and so. We mention in that the quantity agreed, the quality agreed, there are sign and witnesses. So the same rules which we follow today as regards drafting are somewhere similar to the rules which prevailed at time of the Kautilya. Also for non-payment of debt, it has said that the person with king will not be caught. Today we have slightly a different provision that a person who is in the government, we have to seek liberty from the honorable court and subsequently only he can be arrested. Let's see what further we have in financial transactions. Surety will be restricted only to the specific loan transaction and not for any other matter. If the creditor ignores the debt for 10 years, in such situation, creditor cannot recover the same. But this will not be applicable in following cases: minors, sick person, aged person, person suffering from calamities, person on long journey, disordered in the kingdom. So friends, it is very clear as far as the law of surety is concerned that it is only for that particular loan transaction he will be considered as surety. Now once again we see here that the limitation law is mentioned. So this again clearly goes to show that the law of limitation also existed in the ancient times. It's clearly written that after 10 years a creditor cannot claim his particular claim. Of course, it has also given certain exceptions, but what is important to note is there existed a limitation act at that point of time. Let's see further. Who would pay when debtor expires? His sons, person inheriting his property, co-borrower, sureties. When there are many creditors, in such case, debt owned by the king will have priority. There are concept of fixed interest on loan. Interest cannot be charged on unpaid interest. Article pledged cannot be used unless permission is given by person giving the pledge. So here also if you see that who would pay the debts, identical provisions we have today. Surety is equally liable. What is important to see is that creditor, if there are various creditors, the king will have priority. Now if you know today also the dues of government, or rather the dues of exchequer, always enjoy the highest priority. So in the list of creditors, the dues which are there of exchequers, mostly one of that is land revenue. They enjoy the first priority when the payments have to be made. Identically, no interest on interest, so that is also banned, which we have today. Not using of article, again a similar law exists as on today. So to some extent again we see that there are similarities between the functioning of loan transactions in Kautilya and today. Let's see furthermore. When the article pledged is a useful article like cow giving milk, in such case the milk can be consumed but no interest would be paid by the borrower. When borrower want to repay but is not able to trace the creditor, he can make the entire payment to the village elders and take away his pledge. Friends, if we see and consider the era in which this law was taken, obviously there are chances that a milking cow would be pledged. Today there is no such concept, but if a perishable good is given in pledge, it will have the same fate what is being mentioned in Kautilya. Identically, if the person is not available to receive back his loan, it can be done by pledging it somewhere. May not be an identical example, but let me give you a small example like of rent laws. Supposing the landlord is not taking loan, the landlord is not taking the rent. What is the remedy available to the tenant? He files a RAD suit and he makes a request to the honorable court that I am ready and willing to make the repayment of my rent. I may be allowed to deposit before the court. So I think these are some similar kind of things. At that point in time it was with villagers, today it is with the honorable court. So similar laws existed to some extent at that point of time. So friend, that was our laws in regard to the financial transactions. In our next video, we will see the property laws as stated by Kautilya. Thank you.